Hi, everybody. How's it going? How you doing out there? In Streamland. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. Possibly because I've been wrestling with firmware updates for the last half an hour. My wheel got an update. And as a result, all my settings got jacked. It's okay. I think I've got them back mostly to normal. But that was fun. That was very fun. How's everyone doing out there? Can you hear me? Can you see me? How does everything look and sound before I jump into the trucking, which is what we are doing today on this fine Tuesday? Do I look all right? Do I sound all right? Sounds good. Usually, I like one, like just confirmation. One is usually enough, but, you know, just want to make sure. No game audio yet. You wouldn't be hearing it yet. Yeah, I'm on my own today. Brad is doing editing things. Vinny is still on vacation. I have not gotten behind the wheel in quite some time. Probably since the last time we did one of these. If you were asking about YouTube, again, I've not been taught in the ways of YouTube streaming as of this moment. That's on me. I'm not blaming anyone but myself. I just keep forgetting to ask about it. So this hopefully will be the last stream that I do that does not have a YouTube output. Apologies for that. Next time, I will endeavor to make sure that YouTube is all set up for everybody. With that, let's bring it over to the game. We're gonna bring it over to the game. You won't hear it right away because I gotta click on some things, but let's see where we're at. There I am. Now you can see the game. Now let me click on this, and now let me click on this, and now we should be in the game, and everyone tell me, how's this sound to you? How's it sound? How's it looking? How's everything going? How are you doing on this fine Tuesday? Have you been raptured yet? Will I be raptured during this stream? I don't fucking know. Hopefully. That'd be great. Think of the fucking hits I'd get on that video. Man raptured while he plays trucking game. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, all right, let's, I've already got a job kind of lined up here. I'm going to be driving from the most recently added Iowa down to one of the only cities I haven't been in, New Mexico, yet. Guns N' Roses is definitely going to get the bad things happening to this stream, so let's move on to it. All right, here we are. We are in the truck. Let's back it up. Let's get to our trailer here. I took this job specifically because it's going to give me like $100,000, which sounds great. Yeah, it's not doing it for me. All right, there we go. There's that. Get back into the cab. Should we hit the road, folks? What do you say? Let's do it. That radio station's not working. Sometimes these don't work, and that's all right. Everything was going great until I decided to update my firmware. So let this be a lesson to you at home. Never update anything. Ever. Not what I'm looking for. That's no audio, so that's also not what I'm looking for. All right, sure, we'll go with whatever this is. I think we got a mostly full tank of gas. I'm not too tired, so we should be able to at least hit the highway for a little bit before we get a move on here. I'm totally gonna bang into that, aren't I? See, this is what happens. A little rusty here. A little rusty. I saw that happening as it was happening. That's on me. We are getting our truck legs beneath us once again. I think I can do this in one more. Yes, this is good advice from Mad Thor. Never update anything during or before a project. You are right. But I was like, it's a wheel! It's firmware for a wheel. How bad could it be? It turns out what it did was change all of my wheel and acceleration and braking sensitivity settings. And I needed those. I needed to have those working, is the problem. We are listening to the radio. That's what we're here to do. Get the stream pulled down because of some random song on the radio. Hasn't happened yet, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. I'd ask you people for what's in the news today, but I don't want to know. It's never good. I don't need to know. It's fine. I just hope you're having yourselves a decent Tuesday. DSL. I always end up playing this game with the real companies mods, as in like changing all the brands for the companies that appear on billboards and truck logos and whatnot. But it's always strange things what Europeans' idea of each place should be. Best Buys and whatever way more prominent they've been in 20 years. Yeah, I have always found that interesting, the way they sort of prioritize what brands you think most associate with the specifics of America. Like, are they going to know that you're only going to find Jack in the Box on the West Coast for the most part? I don't know. Probably just never going to put Jack in the Box in there to begin with. Do they know the difference between Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, like the middle of the country split for that? Probably not. Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are the same company. They're just called different things depending on which half of the country you're in. That's the thing for all you Europeans out there. Why is it like that? I don't know. I assume one bought the other and then just never changed it. Yeah, I don't need any fucking Clapton right now. I'm not sure I ever really need much Clapton in my life. My dad was a big Clapton listener. I mean, he was a guitar player, so it kind of made sense. Like I said, my brake settings don't feel quite right at the moment. We'll see how this goes. I did my best.
FanDuel's getting you ready for the NFL season with an offer you do not want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus.
Like, I do think there are some good Clapton songs, but him being as much of a shithead as he is, it's not enough to get over that hump. You know what I mean? Like, the goodness of the music is not enough to get over the fact that I just don't like him very much as a person. But my dad being a, you know, classic rock and blues guitarist, I can totally understand why he was super into that. Same reason he, I don't know. My dad had interesting taste in music for the most part. I remember listening to a lot of Jethro Tull in the car when I was growing up. Listen, he's the one who introduced me to stuff like the Grateful Dead, which I actually do kind of like. So I can't be too mad at it. Matt Thor, like 90% of my knowledge about the US has come from you guys. I mean, I don't think we're the worst source you could be getting this stuff from. I don't know if we're the best, but, you know, we do our best. I don't know what that is, and I don't want to listen to it.
FanDuel's getting you ready for the NFL season with an offer.
Yeah, someone was asking about YouTube again. If you missed it before, this will hopefully be the last stream I ever do where I am not streaming out to YouTube. I just keep forgetting to ask Vinny to show me how to set that up. So that's on me. I'm not blaming anyone but myself. Yeah, I don't want to listen about sports fucking gambling. Absolutely not. Here we go. I think we have our first legit jam of the day, my friends. What are we delivering? That's actually a really good question. It's a tank of something, I can tell you that. Anhydrous ammonia is what I am delivering for about $101,000. Which sounds like the right amount of money to be paying someone to transport ammonia across state lines. Oh god, truck, please stop. Please don't crash into my ammonia. That's not going to be good. Anhydrous ammonia is apparently fertilizer of some kind. Fantastic. Glorified dehydrated piss. I mean, How glorified is it, really? Bobby the Hireable Fish, what's your go-to road trip snack? Good question. I feel like we may have answered this on a Q&A at some point in the past, but my rule with road trip snacks is you don't want anything that is going to get a lot of shit on your hands and anything that is going to leave an absurd number of crumbs in your car, unless it's a rental and you don't care. So I tend to lead toward the candy bar, the long-celebrated, much-beloved candy bar, and if I don't want something sugary, maybe like a jerky treat, like a beef jerky or a turkey jerky, if that's what's available. I can't see your username, but did you try that Star Trucker game that came out last year? Yeah, I couldn't wrap my head around that thing. Honest to God, something about the spatial movement in that just didn't work well for me. I could not figure out how to make my truck go where I wanted it to go. So I kind of gave up on it at a certain point. Where are we delivering? We are delivering to eastern New Mexico, one of the only cities I somehow have never visited in New Mexico. I forget the name of it. It's one of the eastern border cities. That's all I know. I don't need to know where I'm going. I just need to know that I'm going there. That's about as profound a statement as you're going to get on this stream today. Is this Oasis? This is Oasis, isn't it? Supersonic? Yeah, sure, alright. I don't hate this Oasis song at all. This is the song of theirs that just sounds the most like all the other Brit rock bands of this specific era. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Normally I like to try and time these streams around when they do new state DLC or things like that, but, you know, I didn't do one when Iowa came out, if I'm real, because it's Iowa. It's just not a lot of excitement there for me. But, you know, it had been long enough, and I was on my own today, and I'm like, I already did the drum thing, so let's do the other big dumb peripheral thing that I have. I don't think Alex would be able to survive getting into Eve. No, you're right, I wouldn't. Not a chance. I've done a lot of reading on Eve. I have done very little playing of Eve, and I think that's how the rest of my life is going to go. Everything I know about Eve, I've basically learned from Andrew Groen in his book. How's it looking out here? There, you can see my big tank. Check out my big tank. That's the wrong one. There we go. One day I'll remember to put a camera switcher on the actual wheel, but not today. Not today. Ooh, this is a fun one. Any ideas for movies you'd put on a potential watch cast for Trucker Month if we did one? Ooh, this is good. Okay. So, right out of the gate, Sorcerer. 100%. Sorcerer's on there. That is as much of a lock as there will ever be. I would say... I might put the original Smokey and the Bandit on there. I think that one, even though it is not explicitly just a trucking movie, I think that one belongs. Like, I feel like you could do a whole subset theme that's just evil trucker movie. So you get, like, Breakdown, you get, like, Joyride, Duel. Yeah, Duel. those would definitely fit into either one, but I think definitely into the Evil Trucker route. Joyride's actually not bad for a Paul Walker, Steve Zahn movie. It's not terrible. Maximum Overdrive is pretty good. That would be a good pick. I don't like Over the Top, which is kind of my problem with it, but maybe it still fits. Big Trouble in Little China, you know, it's stretching a little bit, but I think it's within the range. I think that one you could make a justification for. I'm sure there are others I'm not thinking of. I actually just rewatched Breakdown like 2 weeks ago. That movie's still fucking great if you've never seen it. Fast and the Furious, yes, it's trucker adjacent. There's a little more going on there. I would probably keep that to its own thing. Not a, strictly speaking, trucking movie. There's lots of great movies that heavily feature trucks and truckers. Man, now I kind of want to watch Smoking the Bandit again. Not the sequels. That first one. Still pretty great. Still some of Burt Reynolds' best work. I mean, this is trucking country. This is not the kind of thing I would normally listen to on my own. But when I'm behind the wheel, it fits. Oh yeah, Convoy. Convoy, that's a good point, because, you know, there's the song Convoy, there's the Christmas Hobson movie, so Convoy, yeah, probably has to be on there, even though Convoy's not that good. It's not really the point. Sometimes you put bad movies in themes because they fit. Wait, is there a movie called Space Truckers? I don't think I've ever actually seen that. Stuart Gordon movie. Interesting. I have never seen Space Truckers, I can tell you that. Ooh, I'm getting a little sleepy, and there is a rest stop right up here, so we're going to take that, and then we're going to get back on the road. Oh man, that is way more 90s a movie poster for Space Truckers than I was expecting. I really thought that was going to be more of like an 80s thing. Apparently not. Did not foresee that. Okay, I kind of missed that rest stop, but whatever. I'll be okay for a little bit. I don't really want to back into it. It was also kind of just weirdly off a road there, so it's fine. 1996 for Space Truckers. Interesting. Interesting. Not what I would have guessed. I mean, Dennis Hopper, Stephen Dorff, and Debbie Mazar is 100% a cast that frames for you exactly what you have in store for you, at least quality-wise, I think. When Debbie Mazar is at the top line of a movie poster, you're in store for something. Also, this would be like pre-Blade Dorff, right? So Dorff was not at the peak of Dorffness back then. The kind of movie it was when it was on HBO, I was watching it. Yeah, definitely. The kind of thing that would just come on in the middle day of fucking Cinemax, and you're like, well, shit, I'm home from school, sick, and I'm out of fucking classic concentration reruns to watch. Let's watch this. And this was after Dennis Hopper did Speed and Waterworld. Yeah, I mean, look, Dennis Hopper made a lot of choices in his career. Most of them revolved around him taking paychecks when they were offered, so it's not that surprising. All right, I'm a little over the country now. Let's see what else we got. I just watched Waterworld 2 days ago. Well, if you haven't listened to the Watchcast from Waterworld yet, we have one. I don't care if I'm going off the road. It's raining men. Genuinely great song. I mean, I'm already very predisposed to liking most disco, but I think this is an exceptional one. I think we're in Kansas still right now. If I had to guess. Locking that cruise control for a little bit here. My hot take, Never Gonna Give You Up is legitimately a good song. No, it is. I mean, the meme, I understand why it existed and why it happened, but it is genuinely a catchy song. Like, it's not terrible. Like, Rick Astley has a kind of weird voice, but other than that, there's really nothing wrong with that song or really any of Rick Astley's stuff. And once you kind of get over the baritone thing, it's like, yeah, no, he's good. Like, they're just good songs. I don't know if baritone's the right term for it. It's just lower register. I mean, Barry White is a baritone. I don't think Rick Astley is quite that. Just hanging out here. Beautiful America. I forgot this is where I'm turning. Hello. Yeah, I'm a little off today. It's all right. I didn't crash into anything, so I take that as a win. Which is the best state to drive through, asked Tang. This is a great question. I think a lot of the Northeast is very pretty to drive through. I think the majority of the West Coast is beautiful to drive through, especially Oregon and California. And I think if you like the desert, specifically Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, kind of that area is gorgeous. And, you know, obviously like Colorado. Once you kind of hit that Colorado eastern border, that's where it really starts to trail off a little bit. I've heard Montana is beautiful country to drive through, even though, you know, it's a lot of empty, but it's just gorgeous. It's one of the only places I've never had the chance to drive through. I would like to see Montana. Very nice this time of year. Oh yeah, anywhere upstate in New York, and I mean upstate encompasses 98% of the landmass of New York State. The other 2% is New York City. But really, there isn't too many places you can go in New York where it isn't very beautiful, especially during the fall. My partner and I used to have the tradition of just driving somewhere upstate, getting an Airbnb or a cabin or something for a few days, and just enjoying the trees turning. Very peaceful. Kind of the Colorado-Wyoming border is where it really just kind of turns into flat farmland for a very long stretch in America. So that's the part you kind of want to power through as much as possible. Stop only to sleep. That's it. Keep going. Bare minimum, keep going until you get to, like, past, like, Missouri and Iowa and all of that. I would even say maybe until you get to, like, the Appalachians is kind of where it starts to turn a little bit more picturesque. Stephen King makes Maine sound very nice. I don't think he does. I don't think he does, but Maine can be very nice. That is true. I think kind of his whole thing is not making Maine sound nice. At least that's my recollection from the few I've read. You think I'm gonna flip off a Speedwagon? You're wrong. A fun fact about me that I've really come to terms with in the last, like, I don't know, probably 10 years of my life, is that I legitimately love soft rock and adult contemporary type shit when it's good. A lot of it isn't good, but this is a good song, like, legitimately. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. Oh, they're going to try and block me. They're going to try and block me. They're trying to say, no, you can't get on this highway to Kansas. But you know what I'm going to say? Fuck you, cops! We are going. Stop me. Try and stop me. Now I got this whole highway to myself. What? I assume this is the thing they were trying to block me off from. Well, check this out. Check this shit out. Can't stop me. Wow, that looks... Yeah, okay. That was a whole ass thing that fell over. Well, I made it. Don't do what I just did in real life. Absolutely not. No. This is video game. In video game, do whatever. In real life, don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do in video game. Does this game have random events? Yes, like crashes and things like that are absolutely random events. Ah, truck. I also am truck. We should not be competing. We should be brothers. Okay, next road trip question. What's the best road trip beverage? This really just comes down to personal taste. You know? Like, I think when I'm driving, I generally tend to gear more towards, like, caffeinated and sugary things because I want to keep alert. But generally speaking, I mean, there's no such thing as a bad beverage unless it's alcoholic. Then you probably should not be drinking that while driving. Otherwise, it's like, whatever. Drink what you like. Drink what you like. Live your goddamn life. I will not be going through the toll plaza. Since I don't drink much soda these days, though, I tend to lean toward, like, Gatorade and vitamin water and things like that when I'm on the road. My thing used to be, like, my favorite, like, definitely bad for you sugary beverage was the, it was either I think it was the Lipton's peach iced tea. That shit, delicious, and I could feel it just, like, infecting my body as I was drinking it. Like, the sugar just penetrating in places where it should not be. Delicious, but not good for you. Not good. Now, unfortunately, these days I have to worry about what's good for me because I have cholesterol problems. Because I am a man in my mid-40s and I have a family history. So what can you do? What can you do? Nothing. Just gotta work with it. when I say cholesterol problems, I don't mean like I'm gonna die immediately or anything. It's just I'm in the warning zone right now. The fun thing about that was the family history was something I did not know about. Apparently, all of my dad's family has at least some version of this, and no one ever told me that. So when the doctor first asked, it's like, "Do you have a family history of like cholesterol problems?" I was like, "No, I don't know anything. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is weird." And then when my dad came to visit, I mentioned this. He was like, "Oh, you got it too, huh?" And the look I shot him was definitely one of like, "Motherfucker, how did you never tell me about this?" So then I got to go back and be like, "Okay, so actually I have a problem. Apparently, yes, this is a whole thing. This side of the family I did not know about, and now we know." My dad's side of the family is the side of the family that loves to never tell you about anything wrong with it ever. Just, you know, one of those things that just sort of wanders into a conversation when you're not expecting it, and inevitably results in you learning something that actually probably is reasonably important for the future. They're Southern. They don't talk unless they have to. And then when they do, they keep it polite. Let's see what else is on the radio. Hello, Autolife Azerbaijan. You're actually working today. Fantastic. Oh, you got the Curse of Navarro too, huh? How about that? Yeah, it's not the Curse of Navarro. Remember, my last name's made up. It's the Curse of Ratcliffe. Several people are typing. Oh, is that news to some of you? I have definitely talked about this on stuff before, so this is not a reveal. Yeah, my last name is made up. My parents changed their last name when they got married. Why? Because they felt like it. They were, you know, hippies. Go figure. No, Ratcliffe, not Radcliffe. T, not D. What the fuck is going on with this music? I mean, this sounds like what I would expect on the Azerbaijani station, I guess. This is definitely great music to be driving through, I assume, Oklahoma, to. If I could give myself any last name, what would it be? I don't know. I don't know. I always liked my mom's dad's name, which was O'Connor. Has a nice sound to it. I do need to stop at some point. I'm starting to get tired. I probably should have gotten off the highway there, but I didn't. Oh well. Wow, it's really dark. It's not even that late. I think it's just hazy. I got used to the Navarro thing once I learned what the story was. I was just like, oh. I mean, they told me when I was probably pretty young. I've definitely known about it for as much of my life as I can remember, so they didn't try to hide it from me. I mean, it would have been hard to hide because my grandparents' last name was Radcliffe, and at some point I'm going to ask that question of, like, why is their name different? Here we go. This is a place, I think, to sleep.
Вы слушаете Автолайф Радио.
Yeah. Got a little sleepy sleep. Does Abby know? I'm pretty sure I told her during some podcast at some point. I'm like 90% sure that has come up in her presence. What the fuck am I driving over? My wheel is doing some sounds that I have never heard it make before. This is some rough fucking asphalt, apparently. Okay, there we go. So the fun thing about my last name, though, is that I get a lot of mail in Spanish, despite having zero Spanish ancestry of any kind. Not Latin American, not Spain Spanish, none. So anytime I get a mailer in Spanish, I know they don't know who they're talking to. That's always a fun thing to try and have to explain to someone who does have Spanish heritage and is curious why I have that name. Thanks, Mom and Dad. The thing you don't want to do is like front, front like you have something you don't. It would probably be easier if I spoke any Spanish, really, but I don't, so... I speak a little Peggy Hill Spanish, that's about it. Why I leave the Azerbaijani station on the American Truck Simulator, because you never know what you're going to get with these people. You don't know what they're up to. They'll throw anything at you. You might get Nirvana 1 minute and then the weirdest fucking, like, Italian polka you've ever heard in your life. Will Smith's first name is Berlin? What? Really? Alright. I guess I know why he goes by Will. Same reason I don't go by Alexis. Just not how I feel about it. Not where I want to go. Speaking of Peggy Hill, have you seen this new season of King of the Hill? Yeah, I'm about halfway through it. I like it a lot. I'm also watching some of the new Beavis and Butthead. Quite good. Turns out Mike Judge, one of the few comedians from the 90s who has managed to make it work in 2025. Pretty easily, it feels like. What is Berlin from? Like, what is that name? What is the origin of it? I've never met a person named Berlin. I'm sure it must be common somewhere. Or was common somewhere. It kind of sounds like the name of a hack psychic from, like, the turn of the century. Kind of guy who conducts a lot of seances for rich Victorians, you know? Alright, let's see what else is on. Yeah, now we're in the Eastern Bloc zone of the radio. Well, then I should turn that off. It's killing you. It might be his father's name. You know Southerners. Yep, I do know Southerners. That is one thing I absolutely do know is Southerners. Yeah, my grandfather's Southern name was Edwin, and that is also my dad's name. I did not become Edwin III, and I think I'm actually okay with that. thinking about that conceptually. That's gonna stick with me for a while. My grandmother's name was Lanier. Lanier File. Eventually, Lanier Ratcliffe. I don't think I've ever met another Lanier in my life. I'm sure they're out there. Someone in Twitch chat is asking, do you know about the forthcoming bus driver DLC for Euro Truck and road trip DLC for American Truck? Yeah, I've heard about this. I've not looked too deeply into it, but it sounded like a good idea to me. I imagine some people probably very much would like to do some driving in this game that doesn't involve delivering things. And I'm sure I would probably want to dabble as well. So that sounds like fun. I hope it's good. I'm trying to think about some of the other, like, very southern names in my family. I know there was an Asa somewhere in the distant past. That might have been my great-grandfather, maybe. I feel like that's the most other southern name in my family. There's a lot of, like, fairly standard ones, too. Dick and Elizabeth and Bill, Nancy, all that fun stuff. I did have a somewhat... I forget exactly how he's connected to my family, but I did have a Red. There was a Red in the family. And he had red hair. I don't think it was a nickname. I think his name was actually like Red, something like maybe it was short for something, but it was Red. No Jeremiahs, no Jebediahs, no Ezekiels, none of that. Arlen. Yeah, Arlen. I feel like Arlen is a very like south, like Texas name. But that's not just because I'm thinking of the town of Arlen, Texas. My grandfather's nickname was Red. My grandfather's nickname was Captain Gus. Because that's apparently what they called him in his unit in World War II. I don't know why. I don't think Gus is any part of his name. I'm sure there are other people in my family now that have interesting southern names. I just don't talk to that side of the family very much since they stopped doing family reunions like 25 years ago. Everyone's everywhere. And kids these days, they are not as invested in running family reunions as maybe the people of a previous generation. So I have no idea what those kids are up to or what they're named. Oh, I turn here. Okay. I remember I had a cousin named Wills with an S at the end. I don't know why it was Wills as opposed to Will, but it was. And I believe his middle name was Clark. So he was Wills Clark. Yeah, I'm not going to get the last name just for, you know, not doxing people purposes. I don't think they were San Francisco Giants fans, so I don't know where that name came from. They lived in Virginia. I cannot possibly imagine that they were big Giants fans and would have known who Will Clark was. Ainsley, that's another one. There was a girl, I had a cousin named Ainsley, which is another one of those names I don't think I have ever heard outside of the South. And this is from years ago. This is not people coming up with weird names nowadays. I'm pretty sure that girl is like my age. So not a girl, really, a woman. But I haven't seen her since she was a kid, so in my mind, still a kid. I think it's Ainsley, if I remember correctly. know everything about my southern family, who I have not really spoken to in any major way since the late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I would say early 2000s. What is this? It's like a good riff, but the rest of the song seems like it might suck. I don't know. This part's pretty good. Not sure I'm feeling what's going on here. Yeah, let's move on. Lordy, huh? Yeah, that totally sounds right. Listen, I don't need Lordy when we still have a perfectly good Guar lying around, okay? If I want a lot of prosthetics in my marginal heavy metal, I'm going Guar. Every single time. Guar never competed in Eurovision, though. Yeah, they don't let Americans into that. And they probably shouldn't. I wouldn't if I were them. One summer Lordy was marginally big, Odorous started a set with Lordy's head on a spear. Yeah. That's Guar. That's what they do. That's what Guar has always been and will always be. This is who they are, people. Was that an aggressive merge from that concrete truck? Might have been. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm in no rush to get where I'm going. The drive is the point, my friends. The drive is the point. Okay, I was on board until that started. I like that Lordy Eurovision song. Yeah, look, that song's fine. Enjoyable enough. Just not really my thing. It's the same reason I don't really listen to a lot of War. Because, again, the listening on its own is not unto itself the point. The point is going to watch the stage show where the music is the accompaniment to the blood dousing and the sacrificing to worms and what have you. That's why you partake of War. Listening to the albums on their own is less interesting to me, generally speaking. It's not terrible music, it's just not something I would go out of. Like, I don't find myself in the middle of the day going, you know, I could really go to hear Sadama Go-Go right now. Like, it just doesn't happen for the most part. I've seen Guar live like 5 times, all when I was a teenager. I think it was by the 3rd time that I realized I should never go to one of those without clothes that I know I don't want to wear again. all those shows took place at my hometown theater. And, you know, they don't dial that show back for anyone. So if you are at a Guar show, doesn't matter where you go, first 10 rows, splatter area. That's just how it goes. So this, 100-year-old theater that is hosting Guar, those floors are getting drenched with blood, and the kindly old man who runs the place, God bless Tom Gaffey, has to mop that shit up at the end. But he books them. He knows. He knows what's coming. So it's not a surprise to anyone. Guar and Static X are apparently touring together right now. Yeah, sure, whatever. What is Static X right now? Didn't Wayne Static die? I thought he died, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
54.
Why do I know the name of the guy from Static X? What am I doing with my life? It's the guy from Dope. Okay, well that doesn't really sell me on it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say the dope factor is not really bringing me in here. Yeah, Wayne Static did pass away. That's what I thought. And again, I knew that off the top of my head for some reason. I know so much about nu metal that I wish sometimes I didn't. For instance, what Fieldy's solo albums sound like. Ugh. One day I'm just gonna accept the fact that I am mostly a repository of knowledge I don't need. And that anything important will inevitably drift out in favor of this kind of shit, is how I would put it. Is there a name for the nu metal revival stuff, or is it just nu metal? Is it like new metal? Double nu metal? Crystal metal? Like, what are we doing? Diet nu metal? Because I know there's some of those bands out there. There's like that Bleed band from a couple of years ago. Some of the metalcore stuff has been skewing more in that direction lately. Yeah, is this a ska wave? Is this like second wave nu metal or third wave nu metal? It can't be third wave nu metal because there aren't enough college guys in Hawaiian shirts playing it. What is the state of power metal these days? I think fine. Seems like there's a bunch of those bands still around and touring. I occasionally get served videos of them on various feeds, and I'm like, I don't listen to this, but good for them. Look, I'm more of a doom and sludge and noise guy than a power metal guy. How do I feel about Sleep Token? I'm indifferent. I think they're talented musicians. I don't find much of their music that interesting, but that's just me. It's like, fine, whatever. I do not feel aggrieved that they are popular. Like, does not bother me in the slightest. Again, heavy music right now is in a place where I would say it's generally pretty good. And there's a pretty great variety of heavy bands and artists out there of all stripes. I do think that maybe coincides with some things in the world and the general tone of things. Heavy music tends to thrive when shit sucks. So, at least there's that. But there really isn't much, like, heavy music-wise that doesn't have at least a few bands that are thriving right now. Poppy collab. They're talking about Baby Metal. They did a Poppy collab that was really good. Yeah, that song's alright. I like Baby Metal A-OK. Again, not a band I spend a lot of time going out of my way to listen to, but I like a number of their songs, and I think they are very good at what they do. You know, the Idol thing was never really my thing, but I think they are extremely talented at what they are making. Yeah, they do put on a very good live show. Every live thing I have seen of them looks exactly like the kind of dumb spectacle that I would want from a Baby Metal show. No thank you, Radio Prog Rock. I'm just not really in a slow jam mood right now. Not the kind of day I'm living. Slow jams aren't going to get me to the rapture, my friends. Is this a cover? This is a cover of this song, right? It don't sound right for some reason. And I think it's because it's a cover. Yeah, I don't need this. All right, this has a good beat to it. I know there's a lot of good modern rap. It's just a genre I haven't spent a lot of time trying to understand in the last like 10 years or so. Like every once in a while something bubbles up and I end up really liking it. You know, your Earl's sweatshirt and whatnot. But I would say that my familiarity with modern hip-hop and what's good in it is not that high, but I would like it to be better. Because I often hear stuff I like, and I just don't know what it is. Saba is good, no ID. Okay. I will take note of these. Like, my rap era, understandably, is 80s up through, I'd say, like, mid-2000s. That's where my deepest familiarity is. Because, when you know, that was the time when I was in high school and college age. And when you know, that music tends to loom larger in the mind than other stuff. It's weird how that always works out. But I do not dismiss the modern hip-hop. I do not dismiss the modern R&B. I just don't know it that well. Rapping in Icelandic has gotten pretty big here in the last few years. Okay, you have to clarify where here is. Is it Iceland or not? Because if it's Iceland, that makes sense. If it's not Iceland, you might have to explain another step of that. You're in Iceland. Okay, see, now that makes sense. Okay, great. Yes, I can see how rapping in Icelandic would make a lot of sense in Iceland.
Yeah. Flyest nigga you ever seen. Fits like pure coke straight from the Medellin. Cognac backwards full of that evergreen. 3-point shot fresco. He said it's
I'm trying to think of like European language rap that I'm even like vaguely aware of. And I think the only one I can think of off the top of my head is what I think was a Dutch group group from the 90s called the Osdorp Posse. I think. I remember hearing some of their shit for some reason. I don't know why. I've definitely heard French rap. I've heard more than my share of French rap, though I could not identify any famous French rappers. I remember Osdorp Posse just sounding very severe because of the nature of the language. I think they also rapped some in English, so. This is one of those groups that, like, just being in the orbit of people like Jeff and Glenn Rubenstein and all them, like, just somehow that finds your way to your ears, whether you wanted to or not. Back in the day, you know, MP3s would just find their way onto somebody's FTP server, and then you'd be like, what the fuck is the Osdorp Posse? I will download this 128 MP3 you have of this album, and then I will listen to it and go, why do you have this? Japanese rap, mostly attached to stuff like DJ Crush albums and whatnot, but I don't know what they're saying, but they seem good. I mean, I think that's the problem I sometimes have with like foreign language rap versus foreign language singing, is that when it's singing, I can just sort of go like, well, I like the music, even though I don't really know what they're saying. With the rapping, the lyrics are, I'd say, a lot more at the fore. So if you don't really know what they're saying, boy, that beat, it better be good. I mean, oftentimes it was, so it was fine, but, you know. Welcome to Texaco. Not the station, the place. Had a good run here on the station. Good beats, good jams, good people out there in chat. Glad you're here with me today on this fine Truckin' Tuesday. Got a little under an hour left here. We're definitely going to get this job done. We'll try and get one more done when we're done here. What is this stream really? Just an excuse to talk to all of you about whatever the hell comes top of mind. Driving brings it out of me in a weird way, the conversationalist in me. Alright, let's see what else we got. Ooh! I'll listen to some Tejano music. Some of my favorite online drummers to watch are guys who play in Tejano and, like, various traditional Mexican popular music bands, because those guys are wild. The percussion in that music is fucking wild in a way that I very much appreciate. Despite, again, having no Latin lineage in my blood whatsoever, I do enjoy the music. Sometimes I get too high and I just watch a bunch of Drumeo videos. I don't even play drums. Yeah, those guys have seized on something that I think is pretty good. Like, they are a machine in the way that a lot of other big YouTube channels are machines, but they get good artists. They seem to have pretty fun, knowledgeable people hosting stuff, and their gimmick things are pretty fun. Hearing the song for the first time and learning it and playing it is, I think, one of the better drum things on the internet.
If it's got a tight beat and it's easy,
I would be fucking terrified
you're
to
listening
ever
to
do that.
Lockdown.com, the party station.
Yeah, Drumeo is doing like the good kind of stuff. There's a few people out there. The people who just fucking talk over videos of like Estepario or whatever doing his fucking Harlem Globetrotter shit. Not interesting to me in the slightest. If you don't know who Estepario is, it's fine. It's a guy who basically can do fucking dunk tricks with drums. He's very good. I kind of stopped being blown away by it at a certain point. I'm just like, okay, no, he's just really good at that. But, you know, there's a limit to how much of that I can really enjoy. Is that the Blast Beats guy who plays everything with one hand? Yeah, that's that guy. Anything that says here's for the first time is worth skipping. I think that's true except for the Drumeo stuff, because they are then making the drummers play the songs with no drum track and write a part for it. I think that is actually pretty cool. Especially when you get drummers that are like working in styles that are not their wheelhouse. Like getting the Megadeth guy to do a Paramore song, like that kind of thing, you know? Like that I think is actually pretty cool. Is this not where I'm delivering? Nope, that's not what I'm trying to do. Did I drive past the point where I need to be? There we go. Yes, I did drive past it. That was the problem. Yeah, we're just gonna play this one safe. I ain't got time. I gotta take another job here. I love driving just slightly too far past where I'm trying to go. All right, let's see what else is on as we park here. Yes, we must deliver more piss after this. Absolutely. See, now this I can get into. I would like to fuck the club up. See, this is the kind of shitty techno I love. Like the kind of low effort shit that I can't help but just knee slap. Yes, this is great. Awesome. You wrote this song. You're putting this into club. You are telling people to fuck the club up. All right, job delivered. And here we are in beautiful, wherever this is. Clovis, New Mexico, folks. How have I never been to Santa Fe? That feels wrong somehow. Oh, well. Let's find another job. What do you say? Nope, wait, that's the wrong. I want the jobs, not the driving. Let's see what jobs are in front of us right now. Coming from Clovis. Let's see here. I want to try and find somewhere I haven't been. That's always the goal, is find a job going somewhere you have not been yet. Until you run out of places you've never been. Which, eventually, I will. Yeah, I've already kind of done that. Oh, I could just go to Santa Fe. I mean, that won't take very long. I kind of want a longer job. A place up here and then no. You know what? Let's go to Santa Fe, and then if there's time, we'll take another one. We'll do that. Because I've been there, apparently. Somehow. Some way. Yeah, this is not good. How is this truck stop radio? I don't... That station maybe makes the least sense of any of the stations I have saved. Nah, I'm good. Roxanne! Yeah, no, I'm alright. I like that song fine. I don't need to hear it right now.
Looking for a fulfilling career in healthcare? Here's an.
Yeah, I don't need that either. I just went from U2 on that station to The Edge, which does not appear to be working. Great. All right, out of stations now. I'm out of stations now. All right, let's go back to the top. Nope. Nothing here. Oh no, there was a radio breaking on me. It does occasionally do this. Smooth Jazz Tampa Bay, save me. Nope. There we go. That's music. Sometimes the stations just don't load for one reason or another. Nope. No good.
There is a small space for requests, by the way, guys. So I'm going to get your request here quick. Simulate radio.
I don't know what that guy's talking about. I need jams, not some dude talking. Yeah. Nah. I'm being picky today. Yeah. What we got going on here in Clovis, New Mexico? We have Drake's Hottaburger. All right. And we have a gas station and part of a strip mall, I think, and some grain silos. And that's it. That's it. This is Clovis, New Mexico, everyone. This is what this beautiful town has to offer. All of this. All the splendor.
Here I am. Who am I in the mirror?
No.
I could hold you and I never put you down, but I never really know just where to find you.
Autolife is Azerbaijan. Save me. Save me. Okay. I'm at least curious. Let's see how this goes. Looks like America. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. If you've never been to America, like 85% of the country looks like this. Just big, flat, full of strip malls and gas stations. 85% of America is the space between McDonald's and a gas station. I just missed my turn. Oh well. Fine, I'll go around the long way. Yeah. Radio's letting me down at the moment. It's like fine. Not really feeling anything toward it, so. Okay, this has some pep. I needed a little pep. This is okay. What do you mean red light violation? I stopped. I'm sorry, does Clovis, New Mexico have the fucking New York City law of no right turn on red? This is silly, and I can get behind that. Look at that big donut sign. That's America right there. A big rusted donut sign from 45 years ago that has never been cleaned. That's what America has to offer you. All right. Our next job. Been here, right? No, I haven't been there. I don't want to go that way, though. Let's go to Santa Fe. Where's my trailer? It is right there. Perfect. Easy peasy. Drone cam. We're cheating, but I don't care. Did he just say Instagram in, I assume, Russian? Is that what I heard? I don't know how to verify that, but I'm pretty sure I just heard him say Instagram. Oop, wrong way. Turn that the other way. Come on now. Cardigan's remixes, huh? Yeah. Sure. Did someone do this, like, recently? I don't know why they would, but I'm not, like, mad at it. I don't know, this definitely has that, like, 90s house kind of flavor to it. So this could be, like, an old remix. This definitely feels like the thing that would have been on the CD single on track 4. Anyway, I'm going to listen to this marginal remix of Love Fool, because Love Fool's a great song. Oh, we got a photo opportunity over here, so we're gonna take ourselves a moment once we get around this bend here, and we're gonna take ourselves a little photograph, whatever the fuck this is. Once I stop at this light. Let's go into the old media tab here and go into photo mode. And then wander our way over to whatever it is. Oh, it's this. It's this. Hey, check this out. Welcome to Clovis. Here's our jet. Great. Love it. Fan-fucking-tastic. They've got it all in Clovis, New Mexico. They've got it all. Fighter jets, a gas station, places where you can deliver liquid piss. What more could you need? Again, Autolife Azerbaijan saving my ass here with some unpredictable choices. It might be the greatest radio station I have discovered through this game, because you never know what you're going to get. Of aircraft manufacturing in Central U.S. Yep, definitely. In New Mexico, obviously a big military history for a variety of reasons, some of which we learned about while watching Twin Peaks, as you may recall. I think this is also a cover of something. I can't quite identify what it is, but it just sounds just familiar enough. Oh, baby, she's got it. Yeah, okay. Venus. Great. A great fucking song, no matter who's performing it. Bananarama, the original band, I forget what the name of that band is that performed it. It was a 60s band, I think. But I mean, most of people in my generation know that Bananarama version. Best of all. Ooh, we're mixing. We're mixing into the next song. See, they do things on this station, man.
Мы заслужили право на отдых. Вечеринка Ретро-ФМ. Танцуй, страна.
I got an achievement for driving by the Billy the Kid Museum. Great. No, you don't need to stop. Just drive by it. It's fine. He was just a guy who shot some people. It's whatever. Like, I assume they don't still have his corpse on display in there, right? Shocking Blue. That was the name of the band that did the original. Thank you, chat. That's a nice little drive over here. I do love New Mexico, genuinely. My uncle used to live in Santa Fe before he died, and it was always a fun place to go back and visit. Beautiful country. Santa Fe's a fucking rad town. I also enjoyed my time in Albuquerque when I've been there. Truly one of the more forgotten about states in the United States, and I think undeservedly so. Yeah, great flag, too. And I don't really care about state flags. I think most of them are just garbage, and who cares? Theirs stands out. See, this is good road music. This is good road vibes right here. Good beat, like mid-tempo. Kind of a driving rhythm. Santa Fe without having to stop. So let's try. I'm enjoying my time in Albuquerque. It's definitely an upgrade from Louisiana, which I'm just going to assume is where you were living before you moved to Albuquerque. I do love New Orleans. There's a lot going on in Louisiana beyond New Orleans, I realize. Not a great place these days for a lot of reasons, but New Orleans, genuinely one of my favorite cities in the entire United States. Maybe the world. And I didn't even really do a lot of like the typical New Orleans stuff. Like I wasn't there during Mardi Gras. I wasn't like for that stuff. Just the vibe of the city overall is just too awesome. New Orleans deserves a lot better than the general goings-on of Louisiana is how I will put it. Yeah, Roxette, I don't know if I'm in the... Yeah, I think I'm good. Let's try something else. Oh, hey, Ministry, all right. My favorite Ministry album. Unfortunately, it's the end of this song, but whatever. You going somewhere with this? Uh-huh. No, we get the bit. Eh. Okay, no one else is adhering to this 35-mile-an-hour speed limit for some reason, so I'm just going to ignore it. Also, why does it say 35 miles an hour here? This is a highway. That doesn't make any sense. That feels like incorrect. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we are 90 miles from our destination here. Somehow, this will be the first time I have ever gone to Santa Fe in this game. I still don't know how that's possible, but here we are. I'm okay with the blues when it's, like, bluesy. I'm less okay with the blues when it sounds like the band from Roadhouse. Not that interesting to me. I like a lot of things about Roadhouse. I don't think I like the band from Roadhouse that much. I like the part where Terry Funk's in it. That's pretty good. I like the part where he says, "Pain don't hurt." That's pretty good.
Since you've been gone, I don't think I've ever felt this way before. You know, it's funny how a man can change so quickly from a cold-blooded.
Yeah. I know this. I know this. What is this? This is like WWF music, right? It's Ozzy. So, like, technically, yes. It definitely feels like a song that would have been licensed for a WWE pay-per-view / premium live event. Oh, yeah, this is I Don't Want to Stop. Okay, yeah, this is also an EA Sports favorite. But look, Ozzy died, and I'm not going to skip away from Ozzy out of respect, even though this is not my favorite Ozzy song. Late Ozzy is not my favorite Ozzy, but it's not terrible. It's fine. Some of those songs are good. If you told me right now that this was the most licensed for video games Ozzy Osbourne song of all time, I would believe it. Probably that or Let Me Hear You Scream. I have to imagine it's one of those. They're all in the right era. Back when video game companies had licensing budgets. I know, I'm getting tired. I'm also very close to where I need to go. If I see a rest stop, I'll stop, but I'm not going out of my way here. We're almost there. Getting on the I-45. Yeah, this song's not good, but I'm going to make you listen to it anyway because I feel like it. It's like acceptable, but I don't think I'm quite vibing with it. The new Battlefield game has multiple Limp Bizkit songs in it, so at least EA is out there still paying for music. Yeah, so I think Vinny and I, or maybe Brad and I, one of us was talking about this in the last couple of days. We were trying to figure out if EA Tracks still existed, and it does. It's now just a department within EA, but it's no longer a thing they put on as like a brand label on stuff. It was always their licensing department. It's just there was a period there where they decided to make that a big deal for some reason. But yes, EA tracks still exist, and they're still out there putting, I assume, Ozzy Osbourne songs in Madden. The new Madden has Sure Shot by the Beastie Boys in it for some reason. Fuck if I know why. I'm not going to complain. I might complain about the rest of that game, but I'm not going to complain about that part. Came up during the skate stream. That's right. That is right. Thank you. Why are my headlights not on? Or my headlights break? Oh, I wonder what if I rear-ended that guy, my headlights broke. Or maybe I just can't see them. Maybe it's just dim and I can't see them. Yeah, there they go. All right. They're not broken. Anyway, yes. No, I'm not fucking skipping off this song. You kidding me? One of my favorite Maiden songs. Genuine, like probably top 5 Maiden song to me. I would not proclaim myself to be a deep expert on the Iron Maiden catalog, but I know the hits. I know the big albums. And yeah, Somewhere in Time is next now. Alright, we're almost at our destination here. And then I'll probably take one more short one before we wrap things up. Surely Santa Fe has some variety of jobs to take. Matt Thor asking the big questions. What is the most used and licensed song in video games, I wonder? Surely there must be a wiki that keeps track of this and has that information. I would love to know as well. If anyone wants to do the research. I don't. I ain't got time for that. Yeah, Dragula feels like a very strong candidate. I would absolutely make that a viable guess, at the very least. Queen is possible, though I will say Queen is not as willy-nilly about licensing things as maybe some other bands are. When they do it, they do a lot of it, but they don't just do it for any game that comes along asking. That's my understanding. This fucking bridge is like the best part. Truly one of my just the best guitar parts of the 80s, right here. All right. Decoupling. Nice. All right, well, while we're here, let's take one more job, and then we're going to wrap things up for today. What can we do from Santa Fe, New Mexico? Where's somewhere I haven't been? Let's see. Something within reasonable range. Yeah, no, been there. Been there. Been to Elko. I'm not going to Enid, Oklahoma. I'm sorry. No. Maybe, I mean, look, if there's nothing that I haven't done, I'll just pick something else, but... Oh, there we go. Montrose, Colorado. Never been there. And that's a distance I think I can make, so let's do it. As soon as I find a place to sleep. Oh, I gotta back back out of here. Okay. And we will go until this job is done. No hard out here. It's when I want to stop. So this job will be completed. That is my guarantee to you, the viewer. Unless I roll my truck, in which case that's act of God. I can't do anything about that. No, look, anything is going to pale in comparison to wasted years, but that just wasn't doing it for me. Now this I can get into. Man, that's a sick fucking beat. That snare, like just that fucking, the tightness of that snare. Delicious. Yeah, okay, I can sleep here. Great. Oh, can I buy this place and then sleep here? Fantastic. Let's do it. Yeah, sure. Fucking A, man. Check out my truck headquarters. Okay, no, I've checked that out enough. It's fine. It's a garage. I get it. Can I sleep in this garage? Will they let me do that? Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. And now, off to go pick up our trailer and our final job.
54.
So, disco.
Fuck yeah. It's like, what are you trying to do here, man? Six in the morning. On our way to pick up a trailer and head to Colorado. That's how we're going to wrap things up for today. How are things looking out here? It's going to be a beautiful day, folks. Beautiful day for trucking. What's left of it, anyway. You know, this is interesting. I'm noticing some bugs in the game today that I had not noticed. Like, if you'll notice, the gas gauge on my car, like on the dashboard, is full. But the gas gauge over there is empty, or nearing empty. And I feel like that didn't used to happen. They did just do a big update in this game, so maybe something got a little glitched out. Usually that bar underneath, like, goes down, I think. Oh well. I do need gas, though. All right. Picking up our last trailer, then we'll go get some gas on the way. That'll be the rest of our day. Give me the job. Assuming it's still there. It's not still there, folks. It's gone. They took the job down. It's not. Oh, wait. This is the freight market. I'm not. Is that what I want? Yeah, that's what I want. Interesting. So that job is no longer there. Interesting. That's what I get for sleeping. All right. Well. Hang on. Something looks a little funny here. Where have I been and where have I not been? Because the map wasn't showing the cities I've been to. Well, whatever. We're just going to go wherever we can that's within range. Doesn't matter. We'll just take what's here. So what's here? What we have here is Page, Arizona, Socorro, New Mexico. Yeah, we're going to Page, Arizona. At least that's far. That's some distance, so here we go. Where's that damn trailer? It's that one. Okay, got it. Back it up. This isn't the Nancy Sinatra version, I'm pretty sure, right? This is some other version of the song? Sure seems like it. Sounds like Diana Ross. Yeah, it does kind of sound like Diana Ross. You might be right. Didn't know Diana Ross did a version of this song. Then again, what I don't know about Diana Ross is most things about Diana Ross, if I'm being completely real. Am I driving somewhere I shouldn't be? I think I'm driving somewhere I shouldn't be. That's what this vibration seems to be intending. Yeah, I gotta turn this down. Holy shit. I gotta turn that force feedback down at some point. That's another setting they seem to have changed. Final job, folks. Here we go. I think we're going somewhere in Arizona. I think that's what we settled on. I wanted to go to Colorado. That job expired, so now we're going to Arizona. And by the time I get to Arizona, we will be done today. Highway, Interstate 25, let's go. That was a good version of that song. I think I still prefer the Nancy Sinatra version. That was good. How I like to be on a Tuesday afternoon. Because it sure seems like I'm not getting raptured today, so I might as well get funky, right? Right. Oh, I know this song. Can't name it off the top of my head, but I know this song. Why do I know this song? What do I know it from? It's probably on some GTA soundtrack. Probably on a Vice City soundtrack, if I had to guess. All right, 6.5 hours in game time to our final destination. So if you've got things you want to raise to me, questions you want to ask, things you want to do, we're in the home stretch here. So get it out there. I'm mostly keeping an eye on Discord chat right now. It's hard for me to split my attention on 2 different chats, so that would be the place to put it. Ooh, favorite Columbo ever. Yes, we are begun our double shot of Columbo on the Watchcast. The Donald Pleasance one ranks very highly. The John Cassavetes one ranks very highly. The Ricardo Montalban. It might be one of the Culps, though. It might be one of the Robert Culps. Or a McGowan, maybe. Yeah. Oh, God, it's hard to choose. There are a lot of them. That's the problem. There's just a lot of Columbo. But I think the Pleasance one might actually be my favorite, because Pleasance is just such a good weenie in that one. It's a Pleasance performance I'm not overly accustomed to seeing, and it's great. Any chance you would ever watch the Trekkies documentary for the Watchcast? Yeah, at some point. When it makes sense, I would totally do that. It's a good documentary, whether you like Star Trek or not. I watched the McGowan, Leslie Nielsen one right after that. Yeah, that's a good one. I think I'm most partial to the McGowan Military Academy one. He's so fucking sweaty in that one. It's kind of incredible. I actually really like the Shatner one we have coming up, Fade into Murder. I think that's the better of the 2 Shatners. Somewhere along here, there surely will be a gas station. There must be. Was McGowan a bastard behind the scenes? I don't know a lot about Patrick McGowan as a person. I just know I think The Prisoner is great, and he's very good in the Columbos he's in. He played a pretty great bad guy in Braveheart as well. Not a movie that I would, say is great for a lot of reasons, but he's very creepy in that in a way that I think works. Prisoner, though, if you've never seen it, maybe one of the greatest miniseries anyone ever made. Is Braveheart worth watching if I've never seen it? I think if you go into it with the right perspective, which is that its history is bad. You motherfucker. Stopping short in front of me. The history is bad. It's really stupid, but if you can accept that, all right, look, man, come on. If you can accept that, there's some very good action in it, if nothing else. Also, there's the whole Mel Gibson factor. That might be a deal breaker for some people. Totally get it. It certainly became one for me. I certainly enjoyed my share of Mel Gibson movies. I don't need any more. I'm good. I'm fine. I've had my fill. Ah, here's a gas station. Yes, Gladiator is a better bad history movie than Braveheart. Definitely. I have got to turn those fucking haptics down. Holy shit. It should not be doing that. Is it better or worse than Roland Emmerich's The Patriot? The Patriot sucks out loud, and I mean that in a very intense way. That is one of many movies I went and saw with my dad during our divorced father-son, weekend get-togethers. And we both walked out of that thing being like, that was interminable. The Patriot is interminable. That's the problem with it. Like, its bad history is bad and all of that, but, like, also it's just fucking boring. It is profoundly, intensely boring. Roland Emmerich has made better bad movies than that one. Oh, best Roland Emmerich film. Ugh. Independence Day is him, right? Stargate, yeah, there's an argument. I can see it. Universal Soldier. The original Universal Soldier, pretty good. Pretty good. Yes, Independence Day. I think Independence Day is probably the most complete thing he ever made. And still a pretty good movie. Yeah, OG Universal Soldier, all right. In fact, from my understanding, most of those movies, including some of the late sequels, quite good. The one with Bill Goldberg, not so great. The rest, I think, are pretty good. I haven't changed the station in a while because I haven't needed to. This has been good. I could do this for the rest of the stream if it keeps up like this. Not so good. That one is really not so good. We're gonna make this light. We're gonna make this light. The most exciting thing that happens in these games, you make a stoplight. Worst Roland Emmerich? Tempted to say Godzilla. Yeah, there's an argument. Godzilla's pretty fucking bad. Yeah, I've heard Moonfall's a real piece of work. I haven't seen it. I don't think I'm ever going to go out of my way to do so. I think that's the problem with modern directors these days, is that lots of them make bad movies, but very few of them make movies you could describe as a real piece of work. Because there's no risk in Hollywood anymore. You can't make a real piece of work anymore. It's too expensive. We used to make real pieces of work in this country. We've lost so much. Megalopolis did it. Really, that's a perfect movie to describe as a real piece of work. And guess who made it? A man who was nearly 80. That's who we are still getting our pieces of work from. There needs to be a new generation of piece of work directors. The knowledge is being lost with every passing day. going to the arcade zone. It's time to play. I remember when you could find most of Neil Breen's movies on Pornhub. You know, I didn't know that was a thing. Am extremely unsurprised to learn this. I don't know if we could do an entire Neil Breen Watchcast series. I think that's too much. I think you introduce during a Turkey Month one Neil Breen film, and then you decide if there is more in us at that point. I'm not even sure which one I would pick. Like, there's a real argument for a few of them. Fateful Findings is definitely one that I would think of as maybe the one to show. You know, there's a reason I didn't do an entire month of fucking Godfrey Ho ninja movies. I tried to spread it around a little bit because too much of that at once, before you really know what you're getting yourself into, is no good. That's no good. You can't live like that. Again, it's not that I'm saying there aren't lunatics out there making weird independent cinema. I'm saying that, like, sometimes those lunatics could get budgets, and that just doesn't happen much anymore. Give Neil Breen a $100 million budget, see what happens. Just see what happens. You ain't gotta put it out, just see what happens. Put it in a museum if you can't put it out. That's art. He'd pocket 99 million of that. Fine! I don't care. It's not my 100 million. I don't give a shit. Does Troma still exist? In some form. I'm not sure how many new movies they're making these days, but I mean, that Toxic Avenger movie is coming out, and they, I think, still own the rights to that, so I assume they're, like, Lloyd Kaufman's still getting paid. Uh, 180 miles. Probably be done in like 10-ish minutes here, if I had to guess. Depending on stoplights. Toxic Avenger, I don't think it's come out wide yet, but it is, like, there were critic screenings for it, I know that. And it definitely, like, got good buzz. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've only ever seen the original Toxic Avenger. I don't think I ever saw any of the sequels, but I sure did watch a lot of episodes of the Toxic Avenger cartoon that somehow exists and was aired on Saturday mornings for children as sort of an edgy counterpart to Captain Planet, I guess. They really would put anything in front of children in the 80s, I'm not kidding. Yep, Toxic Crusaders. That was the shit right there. I don't think that show was terrible. I think it was all right, as kids' show of that era went. Yes, Attack the Killer Tomatoes also had a cartoon somehow. Yes, RoboCop. I think RoboCop had 2 different cartoons. Rambo had a cartoon. You know, the traumatized Vietnam vet who kills hundreds of people in every movie. They gave him a cartoon.
Disco.
All right, looks like Toxic Avenger is in fact out as of the end of last month. Great. So it'll probably be on streaming soon, I would think. If it's not already. I did watch that new Naked Gun finally. I thought it was pretty good. I'm not sure I loved it quite as much as some other people did, but I think it was very funny for what it was. And it made me glad that someone out there is just making really stupid shit still. How offensive is the new Naked Gun? Not very. Honestly, not really. You know, a couple of lightly edgy jokes, but nothing, let's just say nothing Naked Gun 33 and a third like in it. Which is definitely the worst one of those. I think the snowman bit was my favorite bit in the new one. It's one of those movies that takes like about 5 minutes for you to kind of get in the rhythm with it. Like kind of once you're past that initial quote-unquote action scene and they get to police squad headquarters, then it's kind of off to the races from there. Yeah, the windshield bit also very good. That's probably a close second for me. Does anyone else think they cast Liam Neeson because his name is oddly similar to Leslie Nielsen? I mean, that's possible. But the other thing is, Liam Neeson is also very much a straight actor, like a straight man actor. And that's what Leslie Nielsen was before he did Airplane and started doing a lot of comedy shit. So it's not that far of a stretch, I don't think, to say, okay, this guy who does a lot of very grim action movies, let's try and make it funny. And I do kind of think that Liam Neeson is not the best part of that movie. I think he has some very good lines, and he's rolling with it. But he doesn't quite have the Leslie Nielsen riz. Is that the right use of that? Anyway, yeah, he just doesn't quite have it. But he's very good, and I think every other actor is doing great work. Pamela Anderson, fantastic. Paul Walter Hauser, very good. Fucking Danny Houston is a very inspired villain casting for something like this. He definitely is the kind of actor that would have made a great Columbo villain of the week type actor. So this is, yes, he absolutely belongs along the sides of Ricardo Montalban and Robert Goulet, you know? Love Danny Houston. I did think it was very funny that the MacGuffin in that movie and the plot of it was basically just the plot of Kingsman, but dumber. I mean, Kingsman's already pretty dumb, but they just kind of did it again. I think that's great. We are, as of now, 113 in-game miles away from where we want to be. Very soon we will be wrapping up here. How did the quality dip so much between Kingsman 1 and 2? Because Kingsman 1 barely holds together. There is a kineticism to that movie that I think is the glue that makes it watchable, but a lot of it is extremely stupid and not necessarily in a good way. It just has better action scenes than it has any right to have. So it's not surprising to me that them trying it again did not work. Airplane does, in fact, still hold up, I think. Look, there are jokes, I'm sure you've heard about them. Racial humor of the time. You might not jive with it, and I totally get that. but generally speaking, I think Airplane 1 is a great movie. And Airplane 2 even has its merits still. And if you like Shatner appearances and stuff, Airplane 2 is for you. Oh, God. What is wrong with my brakes? I gotta figure out this brake situation. The sensitivity is just all off. Ugh. Watched Spaceballs a few years ago and was disappointed by it. Yeah. I think Spaceballs is definitely one of those things that belongs mostly in the 80s and nowhere else. I don't know how to feel about them doing Spaceballs 2 either. I think there are still some good jokes in Spaceballs, but not as good a ratio as maybe some of those other Mel Brooks movies of the era. I think some of Mel Brooks' thing works today. Like, look, Robin Hood Men in Tights, still pretty fucking funny. Blazing Saddles, still very fucking funny. They just don't all quite work. You know, do I kind of wish Spaceballs 2 wasn't Mel Brooks' inevitable last film? Maybe. But I'm just glad he gets to make one more. The man is 10,000 years old. Leave him alone. Let Mel Brooks do whatever the fuck he wants at this point. Yes, Rick Moranis is in fact coming out of retirement for Spaceballs 2. Because I imagine someone said to him, hey, this is Mel Brooks' last movie, so do you want to do this? And he said, well, okay. That's a reason to come out of retirement. A lot of Porky's and Police Academy talk happening in the chat. Look, most of Police Academy is fairly indefensible. That doesn't mean I didn't like it when I was younger. The incalculable charm of Steve Guttenberg and the guy making the mouth sounds was enough for me when I was like 9. We are almost there, folks. We are almost there. And we're going to wrap it up for today. The station really has held me up for this last stretch here. Oh, look at that big old stretch of nothing, folks. That's what we're headed toward. We're driving straight into that. Let's boogie. We're boogieing, folks. Tomorrow, we are doing a podcast like we always do. If you are a patron, it will not go up early for you because there is an embargo happening for Thursday morning. So everybody is getting the Nextlander podcast on Thursday. And I do believe one Austin Walker is going to be joining us for this week's show, as Vinny is still out. But Vinny is going to come around and record that second Columbo Watchcast with us on Thursday. I don't think Brad and I actually know what we're going to do for Friday yet, but we are going to do something. That's what I know. We'll play something. We'll boogie with something. And then Vinny will be back next week. Should we have some fun? Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think Friday we should have some fun. I think that's a great idea. Fun would be good. We'll see what flavor of fun we come up with. Maybe we'll do a baby steps race. No, probably not. I'm definitely playing that tonight, though. Feeling so funky here at the end. Couldn't be happier about it. Welcome to Page, Arizona, a place that you can go, presumably. Why would you go there? Couldn't answer that for you. Only you know the truth of that. You come to Page, Arizona and see their beautiful Chinese restaurant. Singular. Look, they got a roadwork sign. And what appears to be some kind of diner cafe. And look, they got one of these. The place where I'm delivering whatever the fuck it is I'm delivering. One more delivery. Here we go. Once more unto the breach. Let's get this trailer through here and park it. There we go. Lined it up. Drop it off. And that, my friends, is the last job of the day. I hope you have all had yourselves a grand old time hanging out here with me. I gotta move off this window and move to the other one. So the funk is about to stop. I'm just gonna warn you right now, the funk is stopping here at this very moment. Right now. No more funk. Sorry. I had to move over here so that I could switch back to camera-only view. Hi. So, with that, we're going to wrap things up for today. As I said, the first Columbo Watchcast is already up if you are in the $10 and up patronage. It will be up for everybody on Monday. And Brad and I streamed yesterday. The archive of that is up. This archive will be up when I get to it, which will be between now and tomorrow. And as I said, podcast, recording a Watchcast, Austin coming in for the main podcast. Ramblecast with Scott Benson is up probably by now, I would think. Maybe. If not, it will be up soon. And then Friday, one more fun stream without Vinny. And then he's back. And we're back to normal, more or less. So with that, I think we are going to wrap things up. Have yourselves a great rest of your Tuesday. If you get raptured, good luck with that. And if you don't, see you next time. Bye!